Hello friends, welcome back to Scrapbook Your Legacy with Carrie. I am so excited because I have an unboxing video and I couldn't wait for these products to arrive. Disclosure, I do not have the Croptoberfest collection, but I do have the Golden Harvest. So I'm going to show that to you and the new inking kit. And I also got the new photo trimmer too. I've had the other one for years. This is the third iteration of that I've had, and I'm super excited about because you can cut like an up to an 8x10 photo. So anyway, I have opened the box and gotten rid of the loud plastic stuff, but I have not opened anything else in here. So I'm excited to show you the papers, everything. So let's see. And also, I did not buy all the punches. I did not do the buy it all bundle. There was only the border maker cartridge that I wanted with the leaf and acorn punch, so I'll show that to you. I did not buy the fence border maker punch, and I did not buy the little wagon punch. I wasn't sure how much I would use them, but I know I'll use the leaf and acorn border maker cartridge a lot for hiking and just fall photos. But I have a picket fence border maker cartridge. But anyway, I do have some suggestions for the fence border punch. All right, so let's get going because I have been excited and I wanted to do an impromptu video. This wouldn't be my normal video, but this is something I'm very excited about. So let's get all this stuff out of here, all the goodies, and then I'll open them all up for you. And we'll see what we have. I want to get the box out of the way, and I think my dog is waiting for the box. So I'm going to go put it out in the hallway for her. So just hang on a second. I'll be right back. Hey, let's get to it. All right, so I got some new colors of cardstock. This is cornflower. I don't know if you can see it too well, but it is a beautiful shade of blue, and probably the best way to describe it is like a sky blue. All right, so that on a brilliant blue sky day, this is what I would think of. All right, so that's that color. Then there's songbird blue, which is kind of like a mix of light blue and baby blue that they've had. It's a little bit deeper than those, but it's a great shade of blue. And these are solid. There's not white in them. And then here's the new caramel, which is a nice shade of brown. It's very warm. I think there's some red and orange undertones in it. So I hope you can see that. I'm sorry about the light reflection, but hopefully you can see what that looks like. And then here's that plum color, which is not quite magenta, but that's a beautiful shade of purple. So I hope you can see that too with the reflection. Anyway, I'm so sorry about that. I haven't opened those yet. And Grateful Harvest. All right, so I was wrong on all accounts, but let's look at the stickers since they're right here on top and easy to open. All right, we have a big wheat wreath. Oh, pumpkin latte cup kind of thing. Pumpkins, pumpkin pie, more drinks, more wreaths and pies. So what I was thinking when I was looking at this, and look at that wreath, isn't that gorgeous? Is if you did get the mason jar punch, pies with the mason jar would go great with this. I'm just saying. Look at great leaves, wheelbarrow, some cinnamon, some more acorns. This will also blend with the Noteworthy Days, I'm just going to say. All right, so look at these borders. The border stickers. We've got pies, we've got lattes, all kinds of fall drinks. I'm not a latte person, but I'll drink hot apple cider, I will say that. And stacks of pumpkins. I think this is a great border. I love it. All right, so there's that. And then the wordy bits. Let's see what the wordy bits are. All right, so we've got fabulous fall, autumn, abundant. So these will work in the circles and square punch that they have currently. Look at all these. Look at abundance, pumpkin patch, hayride, cornucopia, fall feels, awesome autumn, pumpkin season, cold days, hot drinks. They've got fall in large letters. I love that they're doing more of a title. Grateful, Plentiful, and like little banner stickers. Eyes on the pies. Well, yes, I like apple crisp. That's my favorite thing. I'm not a pumpkin pie person, but apple crisp, yes, please. All right, so there you go again. I want to give you another. So if you're on the fence about this, this is a really beautiful collection. And I like Oktoberfest. I'm just not a big chrysanthemum person, and I didn't want all the flowers. So I'm glad that they also came out with this. Those drinks are upside down, but there you go. You can kind of see what that looks like. So the pies and the drinks could go this way. The pumpkins, I think, are going to go up your page. I think that's how that will be. All right, and then one last look at these fabulous titles and sentiments. That is beautiful. Good job, Creative Memories. Okay, now on to the laser cut borders. I don't know if they did 2 of each or just 1. So I only bought 1 set. Okay, I'm just going to tell you, I don't know how it's going to translate, but these colors are awesome. Just all different shades of red. Now let's see if they're, nope, they are not double-sided. All right, so hopefully you can see that. But that is a beautiful leaf border. All right, and then we have like aspen leaves, but they're not aspen leaves. But look, it goes from green all the way down to red. So it goes through golden to red. So I hope you can see that. Oh, and then more leaves. So these are just orange and gold, a little bit of red mixed in. Really nice colors, really nice borders, laser cut borders. These are beautiful. These will be fun to use. All right, more. I think these are all leaves, and we'll find out. So greens and yellows, a little bit of gradient going on, ombre going on here. That's really pretty. Okay, so that one. And then we've got like a leaf chain. All right, so yellow and then that green. Yeah, so these are all one-sided. Isn't that nice? Really great borders. And don't be afraid to cut these in half. All right, so this one's more like, here you got some flowers in there, the chrysanthemums. And I'm sure that these colors will blend with the Oktoberfest collection. I'm sure that they will work with that. I'm pretty sure that they said that in our emails. All right, I'm sorry the light is bad this time of day. I'm trying. A little acorn twig. Yep, so there's that. And then this one is baskets of mums with pumpkins. Isn't that beautiful? So great job with those. And then just, this one is really delicate. It's just wheat. We'll harvest wheat. And then brown leaves. All right, so we've got the brown. So we've got all kinds of great colors. This would go with the caramel paper really well. See if I bring it down, you can see it better. All right, so we'll put all that out down here so you can see it better. And I'll come back in with the papers. All right, so let's see if I can zoom in on that and you can see how that looks. I'll move it this way a little bit. I'm sorry if I'm wiggling it. All right, so there they are in the light, close up. All right, so you can see they are really beautiful. All right, let's come back out. I was trying to hide some of the mess on the desk because I've been working crazy on projects and I don't always clean up in between. All right, so Grateful Harvest. So here are the colors, and let me cut this open. That's a paper sweet pea. Suggestion is to cut the bag a little bit so you don't have to mess with the papers too much to get them out. Okay, So your colors are pumpkin, canary, avocado, caramel, and beige. All right, so that will work great with the, and this is the designer paper pack. All right, so you can see you have a tone on tone with some white outlines in there of the leaves. Really great golden color. All right, here's the other side. A bunch of, did you take a sock? Such a bad girl. All right, so some icons on there. All right, you have the cinnamon, the pumpkins, acorns. All right, so that's a great paper. Not too busy. Great for a border, you know, behind some things layered up. All right, so there's that one. And then a great pumpkin color. A little distressing in the background, nice polka dot. Here's the other side, the pie. I like the polka dot side better, but I think if you cut this and use it for layering, this is a great, hey, enough. That would be a great layering piece. So we'll leave those two together, flip them over. Here's another great texture. So they've done a good job of some neutral textures. And then leaves. So another nice icon paper. All right, so you've got beige and then the leaves. So that's very pretty. And look at this. I don't know how well you can see this. Let me see if I can zoom in with the way. Look at how it's like splotches of color in there. I don't think I could show you that any better, but isn't that, I'm sorry for the wiggling. Isn't that beautiful? Leave it. So that is all over and it's concentrated in more areas, but you got green in there and the canary color and the pumpkin color. And that is a beautiful, beautiful paper. So the other side would be, you could either cut these into border strips or, you know, deciding how you want to cut it. You can just do it this way too to create like a border strip. But that's a nice one that you can cut apart and use in different ways. And doesn't that look great together with those colors in there? That is such a cool paper. All right, this is different. They don't always do things like that with the paper, you know, with the wheat going out from the center. Isn't that beautiful? And then pies and pumpkins, apple pie. And I like the blue background of that. That's really pretty. So nice job on that. And then you got the blue paper. Let me get that out of the way. All right, so that's just a distressed paper. And then the leaves, that's a gorgeous leaf paper. All right, so they did a nice job with that. So that's those papers. All right, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna turn this over. Let me create a white background for the other papers. All right, so this one is the tone on tone paper pack. So this one has a lot of plaids and a lot of distressing, and it's the colors that you just saw in the designer paper pack. All right, so these will be great to pair them with. Again, the pumpkin, canary, avocado, caramel, and cranberry. All right, look at that yellow. Isn't that beautiful? So warm and golden. All right, and here's the red plaid on the other side. So great tone on tones. Then you go into the red distress. So it's like they took ink and just smushed it all over it. Okay, so that's the same thing. Excuse me one moment, I have a naughty dog. And then this side is a blue plaid. That's beautiful. I did a nice job with that too. All right, brown. So you're gonna see this throughout. Whatever there is in a plaid, there'll also be in a distress. So great background pieces to do your photos on. Then a golden plaid. All right, green and different shades of green, from light green to dark green, and then a brown plaid. All right, so there's the brown. So it goes from darkest brown to light up to cream, and then the green. So you can see the varying shades of green in there. Isn't that cool? And same with the orange. So if you have your tonals, your totally tonal collections, this is going to pair up really well with all the different tonals. And even It was a special, but if you bought the gradients, those would work with these two. All right, so here's the green. So it goes from light green. Again, totally tonals. Bring them into this. It's a great way to add to your photo, your pages, to use up that stash. That's what I'm planning to do. All right, gradient of blues in here from baby blue right into that new. Let me just show you. So it's going to work well with these new cardstocks. All right, there's the cornflower. That light. All right, so there's that. And then here's the songbird. Goes beautifully. All right, so that just shows you some of that. And then here's an orange plaid. Again, mix in those totally tonals too. All right, so there's that. I'm gonna move those out of the way. I'm gonna have another mess in here. I'll have to work on cleaning up. I was so excited about this. All right, if you haven't, oh, okay, let's do the, we're gonna get to that ink thing here in just a minute. I'm so excited about that. All right, so here is the matte pack. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay. All right, so this one just says harvest time at the top. This would be great to put a photo on, or, you know, bullet point something, do all your journaling on it, and you can even cut it, right? Like if you have a smaller photo, cut this, and this can become a title. All right, so isn't that nice? So that's in that beige. Autumn leaves and pumpkins, please. So great title. Again, you could cut this and use these for other things. So, you know, don't be afraid to think outside the box on that. Let me get this out of the way. All right, what a day. Again, you could cut this and turn this into a title, a banner, put a photo in here or a couple photos on this. Pumpkin spice and everything nice. Again, you can use it as is or cut it up and use it in different ways. But isn't that pretty with the blue? This would be that songbird blue, and then kind of a pumpkin-y color or brown. Well, probably the caramel color. All right, so there's that one. Leaf crew. So they're doing something different with these. They're either, you can leave this like that and do a photo in here, because these are 4x6. 4.5 by 6.5, yes. So you would have color around your photo here. So yeah, these are pretty cool. Leaves are falling, autumn is calling. So I like this little border here, and then how they're bringing in that kind of cranberry-ish, but probably the plum color. Okay, so there's that one. Autumn fave. So one side is going to be this with the tonal colors that they have in the tone on tone pack. Thankful, grateful, and blessed. Yes, we are. So there's a paper like this that's yellow. Here it is in orange. So nice mix of things. All right, so now, okay, we're switching up a little bit. 3 leaves. So you could just use that as is as a design piece. And then you have a journal box here, and fall is here. So a smaller title. That pumpkin leaf is showing up again. Back to a title, Hello Autumn. Great outdoors in that brown tonal smushing look. I'm sorry to be flashing my hands in the camera. A nice leaf. Fern, where did you get another sock from, you stinker? All right. I don't know where she's getting that stuff from. I don't have time for that today. All right, so a nice plaid again with the caramel color and the blue, harvest season. And the leaves. Hang on one second, she's being naughty. Oh, she was sneaking into my room and taking socks that my husband had thrown out of the trash. Yep. I don't have time. So here we go. This was supposed to be like, I'm gonna go make a quick video. And then the dog decides to go nutso on me. All right, so good times. And a nice wreath inside of a square with a border. So many options there. Blue leaves now. Well, not blue leaves, but the leaves on a blue background. So nice job with that. Farm fun, another photo. So they've done a really nice job with these matte packs. You're going to hear her in the background chewing the box apart. That's what I want her to do. Another leaf shape. Wheelbarrow, that's a nice one. Into the Wild, yes. And then orange leaf shape. So these are great for journaling, to just have something different. Harvest Blessings, and then the pies. So great, great mats. Fall Days, and then season to celebrate. So nice job on the mats. All right, I'm gonna pack those up. So hopefully you got to see those well for a little bit. But I really like this collection. I like the colors. All right, here is the Border Maker cartridge. That's the acorn and leaf chain. All right, so you can see what it shows right there, but here is the acorn and leaf. So it's gonna look like, let's see if I can find it in here. Oh, they don't have it. I don't have one like it in here. Yeah, so yeah, so it'll just be a leaf, then acorn, then a leaf, then an acorn. But that is one that would be a keeper. I was thinking about punching it on a scrap piece of paper to see. I'll just do a small one, and hopefully it doesn't shake up too much on the table, but I do want you to see how this looks. We're gonna pop it in to the Border Maker cartridge, the holder. Yeah, she's been in her crate a little bit today. All right, so here we go. And I'm sorry if it shakes a lot, but it will be done in just a moment. At least, it's terrible sounding. Okay, sorry about that. All right, let's just zhuzh that off to the side. All right, so there is the acorn and leaf, so you can see it right there. I'll zoom in. There you go. There's the acorn and leaf. All right, so that is a nice keeper of a Border Maker cartridge. I like that. There's some nice detail there. And the punch outs, I mean, if you want to, you could use that as a little stick. So there you go. There's that. All right, so that is the Border Maker cartridge. Now, I was going to tell you, I did not think much about the wagon punch, and I'm not going to purchase that because I won't use it. And that's how I kind of decide what I'm going to buy, is based on what I'm going to use more than once. If I'm going to spend the money, I want to spend it on something that I can use over and over again. So the leaves I can. But anyway, the fence border punch, if you want to purchase that, which a lot of people do, I feel like that is a great punch, because not only is it a fence, but it can also be, I'm just going to bring these back out for you to see. You could cut out every other fence picket in there and create a ladder, or railroad tracks. You can also cut off the pointed edge of the fence a little bit to create the railroad track in the ladder. So I had thought of that with that punch, that there's a lot of good things that you could do with it. And I'm sure we'll see a lot of creative things coming out about that. Oh, she's just getting into more and more stuff. But anyway, so there are the borders again. The laser cuts. So if you were not sure if you were going to get those, the laser cuts are really beautiful. And I need to get cracking on fall photos from years past. I don't know about you guys. I am behind and I want to use up my fall stuff. But I did get that. All right, here, that's the ink stuff. But if you are not familiar with the photo trimmer, I have, this is the one I have I got this a few years back to update because I had an original one. So I got this one. And now they've got this one, which I had been holding off on and finally decided to purchase it. I need to do trash because it's supposed to go out tomorrow, so I'll make sure I get it done. So here it is. Oh, so it's just like our 12-inch trimmer, except smaller for photos. So it goes up to a little over 10. Okay, you can see it goes up to about, not quite 10 and a half, a little less than 10 and a half. And then it goes down to, I think, 9 down here. And then you've got the, that is sharp. Okay, so there it is. That's scaring me. I'm gonna be a little intimidated using it. All right, so here is the inking kit. I did not get the mat because I have a mat, so I just went with the inking kit. I'm sorry, this is gonna be noisy. But Noreen Smith has a video up on YouTube that you can find. I think it's under Creative Memories on YouTube, where she walks you through this kit. So I would go and look up that video as well. She does a great job demonstrating all of it. So they have a brush to match each ink color, and they're going to be bringing in more ink. They're going to be adding ink to the collection. All right, so they've got the caramel color. It doesn't say on, but it's just made to match. And then they have the plum, okay, chocolate brown, caramel, plum. Let's get it right. And it will say on the ink. So these are the inks by Memento. They do have a lot of color. So here's Rich Cocoa. All right, have to go with that one. Then Lilac Posies, so the plum color. And I'm sure that this will also work, Potter's Clay. So it's like an orangey brown, kind of caramelly. These will go, I'm sure, not just with the new Grateful Harvest, but also with the Oktoberfest collection as well. All right, and then here is the, let me see if I have, the stencil, which they're going to be coming out with more of. All right, I got this because of my hiking photos with Colorado, so I think these are going to look great going around some of the photos. Even this one here, it's like a little piece of wheatgrass, so layering, you know, as you layer shapes, you can ink these underneath. And then these are probably chrysanthemums. They were calling them hydrangeas too, but, you know, just a big bushy flower. But I also thought 4th of July, if you do red, white, and blue, these could be fireworks clustered in the sky. So thinking outside the box. And then a nice leaf border here, which if you wanted to, you could tape it off. So I have to learn how to do that on this masking off stuff so that I don't always get an edge, but I want to play around with it. So that is that. I'm not prepared to play with it right now, but I might play with this in a video with a page that I have completed, but needs a little more. So I might do that with this. Anyway, I wanted to show you all of the new items and get that out to you. So thank you for watching. I appreciate all those who are starting to subscribe to my channel. I love that. Thank you. Please leave a comment if you're excited about Grateful Harvest or the inking. I saw on Facebook that there is a die cutting machine with dies that Creative Memories is testing. And it was a limited sale. I did not get it, but I saw it out there. So if it sells well, they're probably going to be bringing in some dies, which makes me very excited because I like to use dies and the punches, but the dies are easier to store than the large punches. But anyway, I am very happy that Creative Memories is exploring new avenues. And here's another look at the different mats. Okay, so here's one of them. And the stickers again. All right, so if you're not sure about this, this really is beautiful. And they've done a nice job with these. You know, if you like your pies and the wreath. So I think they've done a good job with that. And, you know, this could become a place to land embellishments. So And then the the border stickers. So those are nice. And then here are the laser cuts again. So anyway, run out and get it if it interests you. Please comment below. You know, as I buy product, I'll do an unboxing video, but I probably won't be buying anything for a while, which may be the case. But anyway, I need to keep working on my stuff and getting things caught up. But I will be doing another scrapbook double page layout for you all with 4th of July papers, mixing the Noteworthy Page Kit 7 with other 4th of July photos to 4th of July collections, mini collections that go with Noteworthy Days. I just want to show you how to mix your stash. All right, thank you for joining me. Please like and comment or subscribe, and I appreciate all those who have. All right, have a great day. Bye.